3, second down.
Back to throw here. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. And the linebacking core could certainly be crucial today.
They do everything really, really well. Fly to the football, defend the pass, you name it, they do it, as well as set the defensive front.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
Offense just a yard away from the line they need to gain. 3rd down. Bortles to throw on 3rd and 1. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And a look at the defense now. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They'll look to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down for a nice little gain.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in a run game. No gain.
And on the ground they go with the running back. Are you kidding me? Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out leveraging the offense.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Redskins will take possession with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
In motion comes the tight end left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jeremiah Tauchu in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, that was better than the first go-around when he lost yardage, but still nothing there, and that sets up a 3rd and long. Tough spot here.
Put it mildly. Sometimes I wonder if some of that old-school football should come back into play. You know what I would think here? Quick kick. Try and change field position, help out your team.
And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
Now Bortles, he's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Here comes the Saints punter now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. This is taken at the 18.
Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
On first down, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Play action. Now it's Bortles. And he finds a man on the crossing route. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
There's so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Let's go, D, let's go. Now let's get there. Here we go. Hey, here we go. 39.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Now that's the way you run offense. Understanding your clock situation. Excellent job getting to the sideline and getting out of bounds. That's the way to conserve time.
Here we go. Green, 90.
Bortles now on 1st down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Bortles again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And they'll run it here. Stays on his feet. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Second down following the run.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man on the out route. You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots.
And a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now they'll run it on the toss.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
To throw, it's Bortles. Caught out left side by Robinson. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Defense showing blitz. And they'll go on the ground. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it's only 3 points on this opening drive of the 3rd quarter, and even though that stretches out the lead, Charles, I think you'd have to consider this a win for the defense, no?
Couldn't agree more, Brandon. That offense got themselves in prime position to really open up this ball game, but the drive stalled out. And yeah, 3 points is very easy to get back in today's NFL.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. 13 yards there on the pickup, and the Redskins are going to get a 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays. Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, Their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league...
and for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers into the...
And he loses the football the second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And the return will stop right around the 25. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. On second down, here's Bortles. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
And that pickup on the first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Blake Bortles scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. And they're going to speed things up here.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain down to about the 33. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a third down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
And that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it. If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down.
So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time the Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in? And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Squeeze, double. Here we go now. 390. 390. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protect.
Hey!